Hello and welcome to Dici's Real Roundup. I am your host, Hunter Diciana, and I'm creating this page to talk about all things movies. I'm talking about reviews, top 10 lists, filmographies, scores, and more. And today is the maiden voyage of this channel, and I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited to begin this hobby of mine, this passion of mine of talking about movies, and this is going to be the primary outlet for all of my content. Today's movie that we're talking about is One Battle After Another, directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Tiana Taylor, Sean Penn, Regina Hall, Benicio del Toro, and introducing Chase Infinity. The score is by Johnny Greenwood, who also did Phantom Thread, and the runtime is 2 hours, 41 minutes. My Dici rating is 5 stars. Now, before we get into the review, and if you're like me and you hate all things spoilers, please go see this movie, get your own opinion, and then come back and see this review and see if you agree or disagree with what I have to say. I consider a spoiler any information about the movie. All those close to me in my life know that if you're going to tell me, oh, well, let me just say this one thing. Nope. Shut it down, keep it to yourself, and then we can talk about it after. So please, go see the movie, get your opinion, and come back and see this. Now, if you don't care about spoilers and if you want me to tell you all the beautiful things about this movie, stay tuned. The first thing I want to talk about this film is the technical elements. So the first thing I want to touch on is the cinematography. The film is beautifully shot. There's car chases, there's chases on foot, there's a lot of acting into a phone, there's a lot of small dialogue going into big gunfights and protests and things like that. And all of this is done in a way where it's sprawling, right? So things happen and then it leads to the next and it leads to the next and it leads to the next. And it's incredibly impressive that this film has a 2 hour, 41 minute runtime. And I didn't feel it. One of my favorite notable shots is towards the end, there's a car chase. And in the hills of El Paso, we follow the hills up and down. And you're waiting for something to happen around the corner and you're excited. And every time you go up, there's nothing. And we go back down and it's just wonderful and it's beautiful. And they did an incredibly good job with this. The next technical element I want to talk about is the score. Johnny Greenwood, who also did Phantom Thread, has worked with Paul Thomas Anderson in the past, and I feel like they understand each other. And that's the best thing that we can ask as an audience, is that the composer and that the director are on the same page. Because the music in this film really drives the plot forward. There's moments of tension and rising stress, and the score is beautifully done to where it doesn't give you a chance to breathe. It's not loud and abrasive and announcing itself. It's very much low key to the extent, but it really creates that sense of, oh, like what's about to happen. And I think that's all you can ask for in a score. The last element I want to talk about is the sets and the lighting. Now, the lighting is done beautiful. There's a lot of outside shots. There's a lot of interior shots. And the lighting, I was always able to see the actors, and it wasn't dark like a Game of Thrones or like a new age superhero movie. It was shot beautifully. And now I want to talk about the set. The set had multiple locations. We were inside multiple different locations. We were outside. We were in, immigration camps. And then we were at one point running on the rooftops. This film is titled correctly when it says One Battle After Another, because it truly is one beautiful sequence into the next. And I thought Paul Thomas Anderson did an incredible job at orchestrating so many moving parts. The camera's moving. There's a riot going on downstairs. We're jumping over rooftops. We're helping the immigrants escape. All of these pieces require orchestration, and the set was beautiful, and it truly lended itself to the message of the movie. The next part I want to talk about are the performances of the film. Now, Leonardo DiCaprio is the star, and his antagonist is Sean Penn. Both brought the heat. Sean was a relentless force, and I think he's probably not the best human in real life, but he played a really good villain. And Leo, I'm on record for saying this, that I'm not the biggest fan of Leo, but in this movie, he really delivered something that I hadn't seen from him before, and it was a tender and a genuine performance where he is this revolutionist, and now his past is really affecting his daughter, and the desperation is really coming out of him, and it was really refreshing to see. And the last performance I want to talk about is Chase Infinity. This is her debut film, and she was asked to go toe-to-toe with Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn, Regina Hall, and she absolutely smashed it. I'm so excited to see where she goes. I'm so excited to see her in the next film, and definitely she would be a good selling point for this film. Go see it just to see the scenes between her and Leo, notably before she goes to the dance. Arguably one of the best scenes. And lastly, I want to mention Benicio del Toro. What a guy. I love everything he's in, and even though he doesn't get a lot of screen time in this movie, he profoundly impacts it because right when the inciting incident happens, right when the action gets real, he helps Leo get to where he needs to be. And he's this karate sensei, but really he's running in like an underground railroad to help immigration. He's massive in his community, and he absolutely nails it without stealing the attention of the film. And I think that that's an incredible performance. Now, the plot of the movie is really relevant to today's, societal makeup. It's about fighting against oppression. It's about a revolution. It's about fatherhood. And it's really about how the choices we make can have ramifications that span across generations. And I thought that the pacing of the film was so smooth that it really gave each theme a chance to breathe and interconnect with each other. And it truly, I didn't feel the runtime at all, because of the performances, the scores, and every plot point felt necessary. Every scene was beautifully fleshed out to the extent where it really brought you into this world and you understood each character's motivation. And that's an important thing that a film can do. So in summary, my rating is 5 stars, and I think it has a chance to win the Oscar for Best Picture. It has the chance to win my own prestigious award for my top movie of the year. I really would encourage you guys to go see this movie in theaters, experience it with an audience. It's genuinely funny, heartbreaking. There's action. It has all the important elements to keep you engaged, and it's definitely worth however much your movie ticket will cost you. Next time on Dici's Real Roundup, I will be covering the September movies that I saw that were released in 2025. Now, let me know in the comments if you want to see reviews based on individual movies, or if you would like to see me break down several movies in one post. I plan to come out with a podcast or a YouTube channel where I could do like a long form review of movies. This one might be a little long. It's the first one. Like I said, I'm really getting my feet here, and I love movies. And the idea of this channel is to create a community where we can talk about movies in a respectful way. Movies are subjective. That's one of the most beautiful things about them, and we can all have our individual opinions, and nobody's right. That's art. What you get out of it is different than what I get out of it. I really want to create a platform where we can discuss all things movies, and I think that this is a good way to start. So, thank you for watching, and tune in next time.